Welcome to part 2 of my treasure coast adventure aboard my C-Dory 22. After an easygoing start in part 1, the second half brings more miles, more challenges, and a few surprises. Before this trip, I upgraded the boat with a new electrical system, a fresh start battery, a 100 amp hour lithium house battery, and a proper solar controller, and a new bifacial panel. I even made a custom storage bag for my backup anchor. Good timing too, because the weather picked up and I appreciated that preparation. In this episode, I get creative accessing 2 museums not meant for boaters, the Navy SEAL Museum and a treasure museum. Plus, I tackle windier conditions to work my way through the rest of the route back north. If you liked part 1, part 2 brings the history, the problem solving, and a few unforgettable moments, including catching my first rocket launch. Let's jump back into the adventure. Morning. Didn't sleep quite as well last night. There were no seams, even way out here, even during the rain and some decent wind. That's okay. I slept till about 7:45, so whew, I got enough sleep. I didn't sleep later than I wanted to. Oh, whew. I'm glad I carry this bug net still pretty much every time, because I never know when it might come in handy. And it definitely did last night. But I didn't put it on until like 11:30 or so. I should have put it on earlier. I kept trying different things like bug spray and fan and other things. I should have just went with that. Alright. You can see how far from shore I was in this shot. What I'm thinking happened is the wind speed was enough to where the no-see-ums were simply blown away from shore in my direction, and I was their refuge. Oh well. I really value my sleep as it coincides with my health so much. And today, I'll put some extra work in so I'll sleep better tonight. Before we get going this morning, I'm gonna mix my drink a little different. Yesterday that was hard on me. So I think I'm just gonna go raw and unflavored today. That's probably better. It just tastes like seawater. Not terrible. It's 9:15. We've been lollygagging a little bit. We do some chores on the boat, things like that. But it's time to get where we're going. We're going to a museum, but it's a fun, hopefully fun and exciting museum. And it's not far at all. It is rather windy this morning, so before we take off, we'll double check the weather. 13 mile an hour winds, 17 tomorrow. And it's picking up every day. 20 mile an hour on Saturday. We just have to anchor a little more carefully. I tell you what, I really do like the scan strut. Oh, it's so nice not to have any cables and stuff up here. And I just keep my phone up to 80%. And then I have this on a switch, an individual switch, so I can turn it on and off. So once my phone gets to 80%, I'll just switch it off. So it's not charging my phone anymore, because if you can not charge your phone over 80%, it's good for the battery. But I'll just switch it off and just use that as a phone holder. So I'm pretty happy with this little upgrade for the C-Dory. Got her a little fancy. Pulling the anchor to be a little more challenging this morning. I'm not going to put the anchor in the bag because we're going to be getting it right out again, I'm pretty sure. Oh, the place we're going to, the museum, there's no dockage or anything like that. So I'm going to have to try to get creative to get there. So let's see what the tides are doing. Oh, it's high tide now and low tide when we're going to be leaving. That's not good. The tide swing is 2.5 feet. Ew, not good. So the problem you could have is it's easy to sneak in high tide. Think, oh, I got plenty of water. Then when the tide goes out, you're not gonna have that much water. And you'll be stuck. And we don't wanna be stuck. We're gonna be up in like a mangrove creek or whatever. And the no-see-ums will be terrible in there tonight. Fighting quite a current. It is ripping through here. That's in part because the inlet is right here. The tide's coming in right now. It's flood tide, and it's just pouring in. We're up in what's called Wildcat Cove according to the charts. Right now we got 8.5 foot. We don't need to get below 2 foot. I'm sorry, 4 foot, which will put us at 2 foot when the tide goes down. And there's no really beaches or anything up here, but there are some like boardwalk looking docks that I may try to slightly take advantage of. 6 feet. Yeah, you gotta pay attention to this depth sounder. We still have, what? A little less than half a mile. If not, we may have to try to commandeer a dock. But if it was like a neighborhood dock, that might work. For a Thursday, kind of in the off season, in the middle of the day. And I was looking on Google Earth. It looked like some of them were like broke down and just in bad disrepair. So that may make them, kind of not fair game, but I'm not impeding on anyone else's access or enjoyment of the structure. I'm seeing floating docks up here, maybe like kayak launches or something, but I'm actually going to go to 3.5 foot as my depth sounder because the transducer is actually on the bottom of the boat, which is 8 inches under the water, and the foot of my engine probably drops, I don't know, a foot under that. So that's what, 20 inches, so 2 foot. So I think we go to like 3.5 foot. We should be okay. And we're at 4.5 now. I think we're gonna make it. Well, there's no signs on these docks. Looks okay to me. There's a couple cleats. We're just gonna get ready for a port side tie. For this approach, the current is negligible and the wind is blowing parallel with the dock. This makes for an easy approach by putting my stern into the wind and then slowly reversing over towards the dock, coming in and out of gear, staying lined up to where I want to land. As I get close, I make a couple small adjustments before walking back to the cockpit, grabbing my prepared dock lines and stepping onto the dock. Don't hit that. With the wind pushing against my stern, the stern line is the first to get cleated, as the wind essentially is keeping my bow mostly pinned to the dock. Not too bad. So that pylon was a little bit in the way, but we didn't touch it. Alright, got my supplies. Ooh. Boat is secure. We got like water and shoes, cameras and shirts. Stuff in there. My earth runners are my shoe of choice, but they may have a rule against that, and it probably would be wise for me to do it in a closed-toe shoe. So I brought some. Alright, young lady, we'll be back. And I hope there's a water hose somewhere we can rinse off after this deal. And this looks like a nice park. I should probably put a shirt on so I look a little more civilized, right? Okay, now we're normal folk. The National Navy UDT SEAL Museum. This is a place I've been wanting to visit for many years. As a young boy and teenager, I aspired to be a SEAL for quite some time. This was no small museum. They had all kind of boats and equipment to see, all of which were pretty fascinating to myself. I read many books about and seen movies and documentaries with all this stuff in them, and I was always intrigued by them. Much of the equipment was pretty basic, but substantially built and meant to get the job done. The indoor part of the museum had a little challenge that I had to try. Could I hold my breath long enough to tie 3 knots? Well, a true frogman can. A square knot and bowline are both very familiar to me. The right angle knot looked like a slightly fancy clove-hitch, so no problem, I should be able to handle this. So I start the clock and begin tying. The first 2 knots I can complete with my eyes closed just as well as opened. So I was just staying calm and smooth before I needed to figure out the right angle knot. Holding my breath is something else I'm not too terrible at, so this wasn't too difficult. Although my right angle knot may not have been perfect, it was still fun. Throughout the museum, there were large collections of weapons and equipment from various eras that the SEALs have been part of. The displays were well done and included plenty to look at and were certainly very interesting to me. This AK and gear were authentic and acquired from the enemy during Vietnam. Pretty cool. In this large room, they had a variety of vehicles and even a Black Hawk helicopter, all of which you could get up close and personal with. In the corner there was a lifeboat, but not just any lifeboat. It was the actual lifeboat that was in the Captain Phillips incident they made the movie around. It was complete with a hole in the window. I'm guessing the sniper made his shot through. Pretty cool.
We'll follow procedures, lock down, go dead in the water, and wait for help. Stick together. Where is the crew? I don't know.
I went back outside to see what I'd skipped, like this fairly modern looking submarine. After getting a good look at it, I'm not sure how much fun it would be operating out of one of them. I did enjoy looking at the boats the most, like these two, which today look like drug running boats. Then this massive 82-footer that would have been pretty intimidating to see out on the water coming your way loaded with SEALs. It's a serious boat, and it can be loaded onto a cargo plane apparently. Oh yeah, and it's also jet drive. This is a big old boat. Yeah, seats for 14, 15, 16. These nice stid seats. No, more than 16, 17, 20, I don't know. Jeez, dude. Could you imagine this thing hauling? It'd be rough on this sucker, I bet you, man, because they don't care. Woo, boy. How do they drive it? Probably some all in the armrest or something. Man, this is awesome. Yeah, I'd like to be captain of this sucker. All day, man. Just go, Trip. Just get us there. I'm okay. Oh, man. Is this open? No, it's locked. Dang, that would be sweet to see down in there. Oh. Well, when this sucker's skint back, they mean business. I guess it's time to go run the obstacle course. It looks fun. I've always wanted to do something like that. Always. Always. For a long time. So I signed my waiver, changed into my shoes. I'm good to go play. I just need a cameraman though, really. But I guess I can kind of get some shots at the obstacles while I'm learning them before I actually run it. It's gonna be so much fun. So far, so good. Scared of getting ass if you want to be a SEAL. Now I think the hardest one's going to be this here. I think like over, under the low weaver. No idea if I can do that. I mean, I probably can, but a lot of them. This dude over there stretching. You may come do it with me, that'd be fun. Actually, this may be the hardest one. It's not bad, it's just got to be swinging. Then vaults, anybody can vault. There's a young lady sitting over here. She's got Nana on her fanny pack. I could ask her, but I think I'll just move the camera as I go. Okay, I got it. It was hard though. .633 with the camera. That's fun as crap. I'm gonna do that again without the camera and see how fast I can go safely. Second time through, no camera,
349. That's fun. We'll do some more. I just gave it a fourth go. 318. That's fast enough. Oh man. Years ago, I thought about how it'd be cool if someone opened a gym that was just like obstacle courses, or at least had it, you know? That'd be a fun thing to do. Whew.
If you recall from part 1 of this adventure, I forgot my treasured element at home. And since I've started drinking LMNT a few years ago, this has got to be the longest I've been without it. As you can see, I enjoy living an active lifestyle, and LMNT is a piece of the puzzle that helps me do so at a higher capacity. Science has proven that the nutrients in it, like 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, and 60 milligrams of magnesium, are important for a healthy lifestyle. But even if you aren't super active, adding something like LMNT to your daily life can make a positive impact. I promise, I have a large number of people who have tried it and felt the positive benefits. I'd encourage you to give it a try, and if you shop through my link, drinklmnt.com/tripsmith, LMNT is including a free sample pack with your order. It's a great way to find your favorite flavor or have some to share with others. Thank you for LMNT for sponsoring this video, and thank you, audience, for supporting those who support the channel.
Well, that was definitely a cool stop. Certainly worth the 16 bucks to get in. I mean, just they let you run the obstacle course. I mean, that is it's like a little amusement park, right? Or you pay for a drop-in at a gym or something. It's kind of similar. Fortunately, the boat's like literally just across the street from the museum. I don't have too far to walk. It's just hot, boy. You know what? There's a men's bathroom over here. I wonder if there's a water spigot out there. I can kind of get under it really quick. Nope, no luck. Whatever, we'll just use my little bucket on the dock or something. This little park back here by the launch is still empty. I don't think anyone's been here since I got here. That worked out really well. I was concerned about that, not finding a place to put the boat. There she is. Whoop. Right where I left her. Best piece of gear here on the boat, just about. I mean, it's awesome. I've had it for years. Woo! Yeah. That's better. Let's have some breakfast. I don't know what time it is, but I'm hungry. Where's my phone at? That's a good question. Yeah, that's a really good question. Oh no. Did I forget my phone up there? Yeah, I think I left my phone. So I'll just run back and get it. Crap. Did I really? I think I really did. Alright. I'll be back. Okay, I got it and back in action. On shore she goes. Let's have some lunch. I got something special. I don't eat these very often anymore. It's an avocado. But I used to have them a lot on the videos. Let's have an avocado with our lunch. For breakfast, what time is it? 1:50. We get a can of sardines out. We'll have one hamburger patty. I've got 4 ballpark beef franks. Not exactly my favorite, but they were on sale the other day. But what I do like, however, are these Marketplace uncured Angus beef franks. No artificial flavors or colors, no nitrates, you know, all that good stuff. So I think it's a healthier hot dog. The ingredients are really simple. They're more simple than the ballpark or certainly like Ziegler's or something like that. And they're not too bad cold. When I was doing marine salvage work, I ate these like a lot. Just walking to Walmart, buy a pack, and that was a meal. Because it's, how much protein? 16 times 4. What's that? 64? Let's try a cold ballpark frank. Not very good. Let's lay it on the solar panel. Yeah, let's put it in the sun for a little bit. Woo! Or something hot. Yeah, a little little better. Oh, look at this. We made like a solar oven. Let that sunlight down there. Ooh, yeah. Want to be ready in no time. Oh, we have our sardines.
One thing I enjoy is working up an appetite and then diving into some good food, especially in a beautiful and calm spot like this one. The wind forecast is turning out to be pretty accurate, with speeds increasing each day of the trip. But we're well protected among the mangroves here. If it weren't for the bugs, this area would be a great place to stay for the night, but I don't mind moving on and doing some more exploring either. To depart, I'm removing the forward line completely, as the wind is still blowing onto the stern and holding the boat against the dock. For my stern line, I slip it, which is removing it from the dock's cleat and looping it around and then back to the stern cleat on the boat. Now when I'm ready to leave the dock, I can handle the line while staying aboard.
Next up, we got a little spot to stop at. Called Little Jim's, little restaurant. Another island punch, baby. Need something cold in the spot. How much water we got? 4.5 foot. We got plenty of water underneath us. That's a good thing. Luckily, Little Jim's is not far at all. We actually passed it coming in here. Not too bad of a spot to stop. It's probably frowned upon to dock there, but there were no signs, so I docked there. And it is a public park, so I certainly wouldn't impede on anyone's use of the docks. So far, according to my trip, we've been 113 nautical miles and 12 hours and 37 minutes underway. I don't think that's right, because sometimes it stays on a little bit after I shut the engines off. So probably 11 hours, maybe 12. That's a lot. This is only day 3. But we did cover most of the ground that we're going to cover the first 2 days. Now we're in kind of a laid back mode. Unfortunately, that freaking water was cloudy. We just got to come back. We'll probably have to come back, and I don't know, next time we come back we're going to the Keys. So with the Bahamas or the Dry Tortugas is like a plan B. More like a plan A, but the Keys are the plan B. I don't know, I really like the Keys. They're nice. So I pulled over here to Little Jim's. Trying to go get a quick fresh bite to eat, but I just had a long conversation with a guy on the dock. He's an attorney for the Attorney General's office in Florida. He told me some interesting things. You never know who you're going to meet. But let's go grab something. Well, I intend on it being quick, but I heard they do have some live music, so you never know. Had a nice little dinner at Little Jim's. Talked to some locals. Learned some interesting things. There's a rocket launch tonight at 9:30. We'll be able to see it from here. He said it'll be about this big, but you'll be able to see it in about 6.5 minutes after it launches. You'll be able to hear it. That's how long it takes the sound to travel. That's cool. So let's go find us a little anchorage. I've got one spotted. We're kind of racing the sun. That's okay. We got shorter days this time of year, and I'm not in a big rush, but we may be dropping anchor after the sun goes down, but not totally in the dark. I forget if I can run in here or not. Sure be nice if I could. Starting to get dark. Probably don't need to be out here running at night. Oh, here we go. Rocket launch! I've never seen one of those before. Little scanner there as we pull up into the anchorage. Uh-oh. Was in a hurry earlier. Good, good, good. Hurry trip, hurry trip. Gotta go where the line tightens up too much. Oh, that's about all. Come on, just, yeah, got it. And we're here. Easy as that. So the rocket launch should be, boom, straight that way. Let's hope we can see it. Yeah, we gotta get these clouds out of here. I don't know. It's gonna go pretty high, so. Man, this is gonna be cool. Actually, I've got a little bit of a problem. This is my camera that I get my like zoom shots and stuff with. And earlier, it fell, not in the water, just onto some hard fiberglass, and it wouldn't turn back on. Hey, it's coming! It blinked. What does that mean? It means my screen might have died. Let's see. Yeah, my screen died. So I guess I could do like this, the old-fashioned way. I can't see anything out of here. Oh, I need this screen to work though. I jacked the screen up. The screen was closed though. Not a cheap camera either. It's a Canon M50. I mean, it's a few years old, but the lens is what's really nice. Why can't you see through the old lens finder, the old whatever viewfinder? I'll have to Google that because this is how I'm going to get good shots of the rocket launch. Ugh. Poo. Got only a few minutes to the launch. I'm pretty sure my camera is shot, but the lens is the most important thing, I guess, and the footage that's on it. So we'll have to make do with the DJI action for the rest of this trip. But let's go up to the top and we'll watch this launch. Turn this off. Breezy tonight. I don't suppose they'll call it off. Oh, and I think we've got decent cloud cover, or decent cloud. The clouds have cleared out, should I say. Hey, little camera like, ooh, that is bright. All right, that needs to be tightened. Oh, that's pretty good. 2 minutes away. Holy crap, it's going. Can you guys see it? Wait, okay, it's behind a cloud. Look at that. Dude, it's so orange. Oh, golly. That is amazing. Look at that. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. My first rocket launch, baby.
To the moon. Look at it. It's like streaking. Oh, it's coming this way. Holy crap. Oh, that's cool. All right, rocket launch is cool. You got to see it. I'm about to get it on my Instagram. Man, look how cool the boat looks. I didn't realize I left the blue light on. Ooh, yeah. Let's make our way back in. It's a little breezy tonight. I got my Argo app set up, and I don't think you can set an anchor alarm on there, but I did set my coordinates, and I'm monitoring it to see if we drift. Remember that one time we drifted at night? I think I woke up and I was in deep water. My anchor wasn't touching the bottom. that was a rough night. Where was that? And cloaked. Yeah, that was fun. I don't know how much you guys are into like conspiracy theories and stuff like that, but whatever. I like to think about stuff like that every once in a while. Like, have we been to the moon? Then you hear these arguments and you're like, man, I don't know. You kind of like assume that the Egyptians built the pyramids and that the Earth is 6,000 years old, like some people say, or man and the dinosaurs existed at the same time, or aliens, all that nonsense. I mean, I just saw a rocket just launch off. I don't know how high it went. I mean, it's freaking up there, and it's already, like probably gone around the horizon by now. But did we really go to the moon? Back when they used, old phones. But that doesn't really, really concern me. I like the pyramids, and I like all the other megalithic structures and all the cities that are now underwater. What about the freaking forest that is off the Alabama Gulf Coast? A cypress forest that's in like 60 feet of water, like on the ocean floor a few miles offshore. Like, man, talk about some sea level rise or something shifting. I mean, yeah, it was something catastrophic that happened that caused that. I've kind of thought about starting a second YouTube channel and chatting about some of that stuff, but for some reasons I haven't. But over the last couple of years, I've learned to think differently about things. Just open my eyes to different ideas, and I'm like, okay, you got something crazy to tell me? All right, tell me. I'll listen, and I'll give you a fair shake. If your opinion, that may be different than mine, like, is it true? And I'll set aside all my presuppositions or my understandings and say, okay, let's honestly weigh these. And it's interesting to look at life that way. I would encourage you to do it. All right. Still using the mouth tape, and I get questions a lot about my mouth tape on my videos, and I don't always answer it. I just assume people already know. Essentially, I do it to get better quality sleep because it enforces and encourages nasal breathing, which has a lot of other benefits. I actually made a video about it not too long ago. Actually, I don't know, a couple years ago. It's pretty interesting, but you can check it out if you want to. But right now, So we've got close to a 2-hour run this morning. It's pretty breezy. Got the anchor out, and pulling that thing in by myself is a little challenging when I can't run the motor, because there's a decent chance I could get the road fouled around the prop. So I'm going to try something a little bit different. Let's see how this works. Okay. Maybe if I pull from up here and keep the bow to the wind, it'll be a lot easier. I probably should have cranked the engine first. Yeah, let me go crank the engine. Alright, now the engine's cranked, but it's not in gear. So we don't have to worry about where all this road is going to go and get fouled. But I don't want to get tangled around this cleat either when I'm trying to pull it back in from the cockpit. Oh wow, that's much easier. What's my plan here? I just realized there may be a flaw in my plan. What do I do now once I get to the chain? That's a good question. take it and walk it back. That's my plan. Because now my chain is pretty much vertical, so my anchor's gonna be really easy to break free. And actually, I think we are broken free right now. Yeah, we're dragging. We got the chain. If I can do this in one hand. We've got room to drift though. Oh no. I wonder if I can just kind of carefully put this in my bag. Oh, I think I can. And it'll still come out pretty good. Oh yeah. Okay, good. We're gonna need this where we're going, but we'll put it up nice and neat just to prove that that concept works, or test the concept, I guess, of how we just loaded the bag. All right, I've seen two big yachts go by. I mean, a big sport fish and now a pretty decent sized yacht, 80 footer, 70 footer. I haven't seen many boats traveling ICW, you know, like transient boats. But it's cool to finally get to see some. The breeze has increased a bit more today, and it's blowing up some chop. One of the trade-offs for the C-Dory's shallow draft is she isn't the most comfortable in chop, so I decided to favor the windward shoreline even though it's relatively shallow. The closer to shore I run, the less distance there is for chop to build higher. This distance is called fetch. Less fetch means less wind-blown chop. So we can use the C-Dory's shallow draft and ability to run outside of the channel to offset the trade-off of being uncomfortable in chop. Every boat comes with trade-offs. Fortunately, we often can adapt to them. Looks like we could nose up to the rocks. Too bad there's not a little beach. There's no rocks. This is gonna work well. You know what? I may just I need to put my shoes on. Is what I need to do. Somebody's honking as they're going by. There's Trent Smith. Probably not. They're like, don't anchor there, don't anchor there. That's probably what it is. Could be someone who saw my story and they're like, I bet he's going to the museum today. He said he's going back north. And it's going to work perfect because whenever I want to get off, I can just pull myself to my anchor and hop off. And I'll probably put out a bow anchor just in case the wind shifts, just to kind of keep me from going too far one way or another. It won't be very tight, so I can get myself to the shore. I guess I could show you guys something that I don't think I've shared with you yet. I made this bag for my lunch hook or my secondary anchor. It's just a bunch of nice mesh. I sewed it up and it basically lets me just store it all in one little tight pack. I kind of have my rode on one side and of course the chain and a little divider so I can take my plow anchor, tuck it in, everything stays tidy, and I can clip, over the top, another clip, and it just keeps everything really secure. Morning! Alright, we'll go check this out. Oh, and I've also got a new solar panel up here This is by Booge RV, same as my other solar panel. It's basically the same size, the same wattage, but it's a little innovation in it. Basically, the underside of the solar panel isn't painted, so it's still the solar cells. So any of the sun's rays that shine down, of course, it can collect energy, but also anything that reflects, let's say from off the water or from the cabin top, it can absorb the solar energy from the underneath. So just a little more efficient, a little upgrade. And I got another, I really did a lot of work on my electrical system. I'll show you guys really quick. Pop this up under here. I have a AGM start battery and a lithium house battery in here. It's a 100 amp hour lithium battery. So I used to have 2 lead acid start batteries in there, but I switched it out. I'm just going with 1. And I used to have a power bank that was in the cabin that was my house battery. Now I've gotten rid of the power bank, which used to live in here, and I'm just running off that 100 amp hour lithium battery, which is larger than the power bank I had. And I've got a solar controller in here, a battery switch, a fuse, a breaker, all that good stuff. So really my electrical system is set up correctly on here. The way that I was doing it, it worked, but it wasn't right. It wasn't the proper way to do it. And after I spent a lot of time on some nice boats, I didn't take long to see that, Trip, you can do a little bit better. And I knew that the whole time, but I don't know. I'm glad I finally did it. And I cleaned up my wiring back here a little bit. I've got some labels on my stuff, and I don't know. It's just a little better, simpler to work on, and it's organized and looks better. Although I still have some tidying up to do because I was just installing the scan strut before I came on this trip. On the shore, going to shore. Yeah. Oh yeah. Ooh. Ooh. Wedged her in the wedged her in the rocks just a little bit. Now she's good. Bow anchor's doing her job. I did leave the line slack on the side. It doesn't look very good, but it's all right. Okay, right here at the museum. Stepping into the McLarty Treasure Museum was unique. It provides a fascinating glimpse into Florida's maritime history. This museum sits right on the shore of the Treasure Coast at the site where the 1715 Spanish treasure fleet was lost to a hurricane. Inside, I was mesmerized at the collection of artifacts recovered from the fleet, everything from gold and silver coins to personal items and shipwreck debris. Each piece tells the story of the sailors, the ships, and the incredible challenges of life at sea in the early 18th century. The displays give a sense of scale of the disaster as well as the meticulous work involved in recovering and preserving these treasures. It would be thrilling to find this stuff on the seabed, hidden by the sand for hundreds of years. It's not just about the gold, it's about history, exploration, and the enduring connection between people and the sea. Walking through the museum, you really start to appreciate how this section of Florida earned the nickname Treasure Coast, and it reminds me why I'm captivated by such stories and the how and the why behind them. Well, that was cool. I like the history. I read pirate books and treasure books every once in a while. I have quite a few at home. But the boat's still here safe and sound. They said I was the first person to ever come here by boat. I was thinking that might be the case. This is not ideal. Whoa. Step next, right here. All right. Woo. Yeah. The weight anchors.
Now we're putting back through this shallow water, back toward the ICW.
The wind direction still wasn't in our favor as I headed back towards the ICW. The further I got from the windward shoreline, the more the chop built up from the fetch. The forecast was for the wind speeds to continue increasing. Not ideal. Woo! It's quite windy to start up some chop. Golly. Oh, still getting me. Close it up. Oh, I hit the wipers. That's the whole not work. Oh man, I need to test my wiper. Work. I guess I jacked my wiper up. I didn't hook it up right. Remember, I installed my stand strut. All right, I'm going to fix that. Well, there we go. Just over 147 and a half nautical miles. A good 4 days. Unfortunately, the water wasn't as clear as we wanted it to be. So that just means we'll have to come back. Folks, I appreciate y'all coming along on this adventure. Hope you enjoyed it. Get out there, take care, and I love you.